Some of the things that we're going to cover is why what you wear matters to you. So this is all about the psychology of style, the psychological impacts that what we wear have on our inner mindset and how we feel about ourselves. And we're going to talk a little bit about why what you wear matters to others. So that's the presence that you have and how you can impact other people's perceptions of you. We're all going to go through some do's for your wardrobe essentials, some don'ts, common mistakes. If you have ever had a thought like this, that I'm just not ready, I don't have enough confidence, I'm not good enough, or I just couldn't do that. And I hear this a lot about clothes. Oh, I couldn't wear that, and I couldn't put red lipstick on. And it was conversations like this that started me on this journey. And I realized that the way women talk about the way that they dress. They also talk about their career opportunities, and it's usually in the negative, that I can't, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not ready. If you say I don't have enough confidence, nobody's going to give that to you on a silver platter. It's something that you're going to have to go out and find for yourself. 4 in 5 women struggle with confidence in the workplace. That is 80% of women. That is pretty much every woman that you're speaking to in the workplace. Well, you're busy struggling with it. So is almost every other woman sitting next to you, and we're all going through the same things. It's a self-perpetuating prophecy. Women are more likely to receive very vague feedback and ambiguous feedback of, you need more confidence, and then you'll succeed at whatever your goal is. And this has actually been written about in a Harvard Business Review study, where they found that men will be given really specific feedback about how to reach their goal, whereas women will be getting very, very vague feedback. And usually it's around confidence. So what if I told you what you wear can actually boost your confidence? It's probably something already in your wardrobe right now that is instantly going to be your secret power for confidence. Which of these ladies would you identify as being the leader in a workplace? And why? It's not about getting it right or wrong. It's about understanding your perception, how what you wear is being perceived by others in the workplace. Whatever you thought goes towards how you would see yourself in a leadership role. So there are different options that you can wear depending on the work environment, the culture, depending on the dress standards. But generally, we will see certain people wearing different styles depending on what role they have or what their profession is. Enclothed cognition is a fascinating term that was developed in 2012 by a couple of researchers in America. And what they found was that how you dress actually impacts your own perception of yourself. So what they did was they put a whole heap of people in a white lab coat and did some aptitude testing. They told half of the people that their lab coat belonged to a surgeon or a scientist. The other people were told that their coat belonged to an artist or a painter. And what the aptitude testing actually showed was the people who believed that they were wearing the coat of someone who they deemed to be smarter performed smarter in the testing. So if we go back to the previous slide and you think about how you reacted to people and what they were wearing, it starts to paint that picture of what you believe a leader looks like. So if you want to be presenting yourself in a way, there is a picture in your mind of what that person is. That starts to help you to shape what your style might look like. That's going to help you feel a little bit more confident. So have a good think about what kind of leader you want to be seen as. Do you want to be seen as a confident, empowered, put together leader who is good in a crisis? Or do you want to be seen as kind of a more approachable leader? Your first impressions do matter. What else comes with that is what you're wearing is more than just visual. When we're putting together what we're wearing of a morning, yes, there's that enclothed cognition, there's that mental kind of stimulation that comes from putting on something that we believe a strong leader would wear or we believe a confident woman would wear. There was further research done in 2015 that discovered that wearing a blazer to work means that you are more likely to speak up in meetings, you can make decisions quicker, and you can actually take on negative feedback easier. So this is your number one secret weapon when it comes to building your confidence within the workplace. A lot of us have a black blazer to start with in our wardrobe, so that's your number one go-to piece. Talking about presence though, we're talking about how you show up to other people. So we've got the mindset that comes with getting dressed in a certain way of a morning, and what then comes with that, because you've got the confident mindset and the positive mindset, that will then change your tone of voice. It will change your body language, and it's going to change your facial expressions. What that then brings is what you're projecting out to the world. Are you projecting confidence, or are you kind of projecting yourself that you're unsure of yourself? And whatever you're projecting, people will pick up on that. So your presence is going to be impacted, yes, by your wardrobe, but then is that second order effect of how you feel in your wardrobe, how you feel in what you're wearing, and people will really pick up on that. You need to think about, how do you actually want to be perceived in the workplace as a structured, well put together leader? Do you want to be approachable? Do you want to be authentic and genuine? Are you going to wear black because you believe all the leaders above you wear? Do you want to wear a bit of color and bring a little bit of your personality into that? So it's really important when we're talking about wardrobe, what actually works for you. That it might be a blazer as your stock standard. Let's start there. But then we can go into kind of colors, prints, styles, and different things that are going to make you feel confident and amazing. Because what makes me feel confident is not going to be the same thing that makes you feel confident. Wardrobe essentials. As I said, a blazer. Number one, your confidence secret weapon is going to be a blazer. Second to that is going to be a power piece. So it could be a structured dress, it could be a suit, it could be actually a specific print. I know some people really like to wear leopard print or animal print, and they feel really empowered by that. They don't need to be heels. The one thing they do need to be is comfortable, though. You need to be comfortable in all of these pieces. So how do you find what is going to work for you? Like, I've given a couple of pieces here, but it's not always going to be the same for everybody. We can have a friend come around, we can go shopping with a friend, or we can even film ourselves trying things on and having a look at the video afterwards, just to see what actual piece of clothing made you smile, made you stand up straighter, made you kind of give yourself that, oh, hello there, look in the mirror. And that's when you're going to start to see, okay, this is the piece for me, or this is the color for me. It's about experimenting. It's about finding what it is that works for you. As I said, stock standard, start with the blazer, start trying different colored blazers, different styles of blazers, or things that match into the blazer. Also, make sure it's functional. All of my designs have pockets in them. You need to make sure that you're able to wear it. For an interview, I highly recommend a blazer or a suit, preferably dark colors. For a presentation or a speech, you're going to want to stand out. Your bright colors, still in that professional style, especially if you're presenting to clients or giving a speech to a group of professionals. But of course, comfortable shoes, because if you're standing up, giving a speech, giving an hour-long keynote, you want to be making sure that you're wearing comfortable shoes. If you're having a meeting with the boss, I highly recommend putting on that confidence blazer, that blazer that's going to give you that boost of empowerment. It's also going to show you as a professional when having that conversation with him, to start setting those expectations, and that allowing you to show up with that presence and get him to perceive, or her to perceive in your mind, that you are professional, that you are capable of your job, etc. That enclothed cognition is also working on them and how they're perceiving you. However, when meeting with staff, I know some women who like to take their blazers off when meeting with staff, just so that they can come across as more approachable, a little bit more down to earth, have a little bit more casual conversation. So I recommend keeping a collared shirt on, but maybe taking that blazer off. It really depends on how you do your style. I don't really wear collared shirts under my blazers, but my blazers are still a little bit more usually bright and colorful, so it does make me a little bit more approachable. For networking, and especially going for a networking event where you don't know a lot of people, having that statement piece like the bright the bright blazer or the bright red dress, you'll stand out in a crowd of blues, blacks, and greys. It can also be a good icebreaker, a good conversation starter, and people will naturally be drawn to your energy or what they perceive as your energy while you're wearing it. Some common mistakes that I see in the workplace. Clothes that are completely uncomfortable. You don't want things that are too tight, too loose. You don't want anything that's going to make you sweat, that's itchy. 100% wool fibers can get itchy. And especially if you're sitting in interviews or meetings with your boss, you don't want to kind of be fidgeting because that breaks that perception of confidence, but also it breaks your own kind of train of thought and makes it more difficult for you to come across as more confident and to feel more confident in yourself. We don't need to keep it boring. Blacks, blues, and greys are for the men. They've always worn those colors for the last 100 years. If you go back, maybe they threw in a brown in the 80s, but blacks, blues, and greys are pretty much the men's colors. Women tend to wear those colors because it is a bit of a camouflage. Don't always ignore your audience. You want to dress with intention. How do you want others to see you? So it's important to remember that yes, the unconscious bias is here at the moment, and we talk about how people shouldn't be judging us by what we wear, but they're subconsciously we're being judged for all of the different things that we do in life. But the conscious bias still does exist. It's now just silent. People are no longer saying, I don't like what she wore, so we're not going to give her a job. So still do think about your audience. Think about kind of how do you want to be perceived by others? It's kind of that balance of, dressing for success for yourself, but also kind of standing out for all of the right reasons. So understanding your audience is really important in that space. Again, when we talk about the interview panel, for example, there are certain expectations in that, depending on the job you're going for. Don't kind of focus too much on the current trends. And that's where we get into issues around fast fashion. If you have a good blazer or a good couple of blazers, switching out a couple of shirts every now and then will keep you going. You don't need to stick to trends in the workplace. Stick to things that are going to work for you. Is the color going to make you feel confident? Is the style going to make you feel confident? Of course, keep in mind things like do not let your skirt kind of ride up too high. Do not have your buzzies out too low, and just stick with those professional styles as well when it comes to dressing. Make sure you invest in quality pieces over quantity. The more expensive pieces are more likely to last longer and will stand out as high quality. Our 3 current suits in the range, the rose, the teal, and the Eve print that I'm wearing tonight. The next range will be launching in the next couple of months, and that's focused on hot pink. If you're following us on our socials, so you're at Pink Women on Insta or on LinkedIn, you will see that when the samples start coming in, I'll start showing you what's coming. I'm really excited about the next print. There is a hot pink version, but then there's this really fun print blazer that has a slight bit of pink within it, but then it's just all other colors as well, and it's absolutely amazing. I saw the video of it the other day, and I was so excited. So that is coming out in the next couple of months. They'll be going on pre-sale hopefully in May. We'll put some events up on the socials as well for you to be able to come try everything on. We have free shipping and free returns if you're not sure about sizes. If you are local here in Canberra, I am Canberra based, you're always welcome to come and try things on.